Hi guys, how you going? Well, welcome to tea time again. You are watching the catch up and I'm so excited because today it is like 27 degrees outside. It is the most beautiful weather and so that's why I'm all summery and it's so exciting. So for today, we are going to be talking about setting up your classroom. Now I know it's not the start of the year, but we are moving into term 4. If you are overseas, like if you're in the US, then obviously you actually would have started the school year recently. So have an awesome year if you are in that boat. But first of all, we're going to be having a look at what I'm drinking today because that's what tea time's all about. We're having a catch up, we're chilling out together. So actually, I'm actually not drinking tea. First of all, I can sometimes drop things easily and break things. I'm trying to get out of that habit. It's not really a habit, it's just something that happens. Anyway, we have these most beautiful wine glasses and stuff at home, but they just kept on breaking through ISO and everything. And the other day I went to a discount store, which is actually open at the moment because I'm in Victoria and we're in lockdown still. So fingers crossed we can get out soon, hopefully. But I found the most gorgeous glasses. And so here is my glass. Now, this is not wine. It's not wine because actually I'm not a big wine drinker. I don't actually drink much alcohol. But I love just how different they are. These might not be your style, but I just love how, I don't know, how different they are. And because it's nice weather, instead of warm tea, I thought I'd have something like some nice juice and sparkling water. So I actually do that quite often. So today for tea time and setting up the classroom, I'm having Bickford's 100% juice. You can see it. This is super berry. I love this. It's a bit tart, but it's got no added sugar, nothing artificial. And this one here has got all your 5 main red sort of fruits. So you've got red grape, pomegranate, cranberry, strawberry, and raspberry. So it's a nice kick. And for a glass of this size, I probably put about that much of the juice in, and then the rest is all water. So it's just a nice, refreshing drink. You might want to try it at home. Anyway, so for tea time, setting up the classroom today, we're going to talk about that because I love interior design. I love making things beautiful. And one of the best things about having your own classroom is just being able to, make it your own. Now, if you're in high school and you are in a situation where you don't have your own room and you walk from room to room, there are some different things that you can do to try and, get that vibe happening and just still make it your own space when you actually go to those classrooms. It doesn't mean lugging a plant around with you or anything, but, you might want to bring some bits and pieces like, different stationery items or something to put on the board, or even just, connecting your interactive whiteboard and just having the same theme on there, just to make it your own space. So let's get to it. So the first thing that you need to do before you start is to have a plan. Okay, so what I want you to do is think about all the different things that you might need for the term. And it doesn't really necessarily have to be for the term, but just starting off. So what units are you covering? Now, we did an environmental unit, and one of the things I really wanted to do was create a fake sort of tree in my classroom. So I had that in my mind. I was like, okay, I need some space so I can, make sure I can create a bit of a tree up against the wall somewhere and have a bit of a reading space for the kids as well. So have a plan and think about all the different spaces that you might need. Do you want a reading zone? Do you want lots of floor space? If you're in the younger years, you definitely need your floor space, even if it's some well-being time where the kids are lying on the floor and just thinking and relaxing and meditating. You need the space for them to do that. So think about that. Do you need a timeout space? Do you need space for, maybe you've got a student with additional needs and they might need to have a safe area for them to go to? So I've had to do that in the past, really put their needs at the forefront of my mind and just go, okay, I need a table. I need to make sure it's close to their tub. And so all of those different things come into play when you're setting up your classroom. The other thing is having an art area. If you are one of those teachers that just loves color and loves craft and loves art, You know, maybe you've got some great things that the kids can do as early finishes or for rotations to really create that rich learning environment. Having an art space is an awesome thing. And it also teaches the kids to be responsible for the things that they've got. So, you know, if you want to have that space, where would you like that? And then also there's STEM things as well. So, you know, science, technology, engineering, maths. So all of those sorts of products like your Lego and, you know, your connector blocks and even like masking tape and straws where the kids can actually create structures and stuff like that. Things like that, really super important. Have a plan before you go in. It's always important. And think about how you want to have your space, you know. I know one of the things I start with is always, how do I want my desk to be? You know, where are the kids going to come and talk to me and catch up with me? I need to make sure I can see the whole room. And you want to make sure you don't have any areas that you can't really look into. So the other thing that is really good to take note of is the movement in your classroom. I'm just going to have a sip of my juice. I love that. Okay, so have a think about the movement. At my school, you know, we like to make sure, because we've got individual classrooms, even though we can combine the two. But think about the movement. You know, do you want your kids, are your kids going to be lining up at the end of the day? If so, it's much easier for them to just have one straight line as much as possible. Like, you don't want to have them, you know, going in and out of all your table zones and everything like that. So have a think about where your kids are going to be lining up and what your routines are going to be in the classroom as well. We have a happy chart system, a happy card system, because I'm in one of the lowest years. I'm in prep. And it's really important for the kids to constantly access our calendar and the weather and their happy card reward system, because that's something that they love. And if it was too hard for them to get to, it kind of wouldn't make it as prominent as it could be. So that's an idea. So think about movement. The other thing is, what kind of resources do they also need to access regularly? So depending on how your school does it, you might have the kids with their own tubs. So they're always going to be needing that throughout the day. If their hats are in their tubs, getting to the bag room. So just think about movement and stuff. The other thing is, once you actually have got that plan in your mind and you're starting off with all of your moving and it just is very blank, start with moving around your space. How do you want your desk area to be? What do you want that to look like? So I've got some storage that I have on the right side of my desk up against the wall where my pinboard is. And it's really great because I put all of my different things in there for the week. So I have my Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday pigeonholes. So all my work is ready to go for the week. And then I have a nice clear desk. So, because I like to be organized. I'm sure some of you guys do too. But yeah, just having a nice clear desk at the end of the day with everything sorted makes life so much easier. But yeah, so make sure you start with your desk area first. Now, the next thing that you need to do is start moving around your tables and your big furniture. Start with your table groups first. So, you know, what kind of thing do you want your, I guess, how do you want your classroom to be set up in terms of your tables? So do you want to have little clusters so that when you do have your rotations for literacy, math, STEM, whatever you guys are doing, how do you want that to flow? Because, you know, if you've got 4 clusters, then it's nice and easy because you can have 4 groups and they just rotate throughout. If you want to have, because let's say you've got an older class, you might be in like 5, grade 6. High school's a bit different if you move to different classrooms because they're all just kind of set up how they're set up. But if you do have, you know, the ability to change things, still have a think about, you know, how you want the flow to go in your classroom as well. So start with those tables first and just see how much room it takes up. Now, in all the years I've been teaching, sometimes when you have an odd number of students, it means a whole nother table and 2 extra chairs, and that can be a little annoying. So particularly if you're at the start of the year, just be prepared that the odds are you'll probably get a new student. So keep in mind that you'll need to probably fit a new table in there at some point. But the other thing is, is that you can always move things around later on if that situation occurs and have a nice refreshing space for all the kids. But yeah, think about how many students you've got, obviously, and how you operate in the classroom. If you are in an open plan school where you guys do lots of hands-on stuff, some clusters and some straight tables, might be really good. You might want to do some in like a U shape so that you can sit in the center and then you can have a group of kids around you. And it depends on the types of tables you guys have. So some people might have, newer tables where they are really conducive to that group work. But, some schools might just have, your standard straight old school tables where only two can sit at. So really think about moving those first, because that's the main thing in your classroom. And then if you've got, say, couches, or if you've got bookshelves, things like that, whiteboards, move those around next. Because once you've got your table set and those big elements, those big furniture elements, you're going to see a lot easier as to what kind of space you have. And don't be afraid to do different things. I know when you go into a classroom and it's already set up a certain way, or maybe you've had it that way for the whole entire time, have a look at the walls that you have and the space you have. Imagine walking into the classroom with no furniture there. That's what I always do. I imagine that there's nothing in there and I'm bringing everything in. And you can just ask my colleagues, I think I've put my tables and things in my room like a million different ways. And I have to say, it's really, really fun. Sometimes I have floor space right in the middle of the classroom, and I make sure that the kids can see the interactive whiteboard and can access that, because obviously it's important. But I'll have the clusters of tables surrounding that zone, so it's like a hub in the center. And that's a really, really fun thing to do, because then everyone comes together. And I love having the kids spread out so they have a bit of space and, a bit of quiet. When we have quiet working time, they don't feel like they're working on top of each other as well. So just think about what you would love in your classroom, in your space, and how you want to learn. The next piece of advice I have, and I always do this, is just to stop. You might go to the bathroom, you might go get a cuppa, but stop every now and then, take a step back, walk back into your classroom. It might seem a bit weird, but it's really a good idea just to come fresh into the space again and see how you're going. The amount of times I've done that and I'm like, oh, this is actually pretty terrible. It doesn't look nice at all. Things always look better once you put all your decor and everything in there together. But yeah, sometimes you just need to take that step back. Fresh perspective, fresh eyes, grab a colleague and just go, oh, come on, tell me, what do you really think about this? And that's a great strategy to have, because sometimes if you're working on this and you're trying to do it right and you're trying to get it done quickly, sometimes it's actually, you do the job much quicker if you take those few minutes to just refresh your perspective, because sometimes your head can get a bit fuzzy and it's not good. It's just not good. Anyway, the last piece of advice before we head off today is make sure that your classroom is a place that you really, really want to come to. You're going to be going there Monday to Friday. You're going to be doing long hours. You've got so many different things to do in that space, things to cover. So make sure it's really a place that when you know that you're going to work in the morning, it's enjoyable to go to. Anyway, I hope this has helped you with setting up your classroom. And even if you're not a new teacher or, starting up fresh, maybe you've been teaching for years and have just always done the same thing. This might help you just refresh things a little bit. So anyway, I hope you've had an awesome day today. And thank you so much for joining us. And I can't wait to catch up with you guys again. I'm going to head off with my lovely fresh juice, and I might go outside because it's still a bit sunny out there and get some more stuff done. But have a great day. Thanks for catching up.